Hi guys, and welcome to another video. So today we're talking about resellers, pre-loved bags, and why I have never and probably will never buy a pre-loved bag from a reseller. So why am I saying that? What are my reasons behind it? Well, let's explore some of them because I've got quite a lot to say. So keep watching. I have never bought a pre-loved bag, and there's several reasons why I haven't. Some of them are very obvious, some of them you may disagree with, some of them you may agree with. But let's discuss it because it's a real topic for me. It's one of those that really gets my blood boiling. It really does. So yeah, let's get going. Okay, so let's start with the obvious things of why I have never bought a pre-loved bag or a bag like a new bag but via a reseller. And it's the main reason is all the horror stories. There are so many horror stories out there of fakes, like fake bags being sent or being sold on the resale market. Some of the fake bags are so good that even somebody, I consider myself a little bit of a connoisseur with bags because I've been buying bags for a long time. But yeah, some of them are incredibly good. They really are. So, how could you be 100% sure that the bag that somebody is selling to you is authentic? I don't care if they've got the receipt. I don't care if they've got the packaging. You can buy the packaging on eBay. I've seen a Facebook group recently where somebody's asking for can somebody sell me an LV box? I need a box that's this size. I'll pay £5 for it. What do they want that box for? It may be that they're wanting to resell something and they want the packaging with it. You can buy it so easily. Receipts, I understand if you have a receipt, it's some proof of something, but it's not proof that that actual item in that box was from that receipt. It just isn't. I could have bought a Louis Vuitton bag, got the receipt, bought the bag. I could then maybe sell the bag with a copy of that receipt, or I could keep the bag. Doesn't even matter. I could then buy a fake from somewhere and I could then sell it with all the packaging and the receipt that when I bought the actual bag. You only have to buy the bag once to get a receipt, don't you? And you could have quite a few different fakes, and then people will only give you a copy of the receipt, for example. There are so many other horror stories of that the bag is clearly fake, or it has defects, or it doesn't arrive at all and you sent your money, and 9 times out of 10 the resellers would like a bank transfer, or they add on a lot of costs for going through credit cards. But with credit cards you get some protection at least. And even if you go through PayPal, I've heard so many horror stories about how things get blocked and somebody doesn't get their payment, or there's horror stories from both sides of buying and selling. And yeah, it's too risky, too stressful for me. So another reason is, what happens if there is a defect? So say that it is a perfectly authentic bag, but there's a defect that doesn't either happen straight away or doesn't. Maybe something happens to the stitching or the handle or something, and it's something that should never happen to that bag, but it's happened outside the returns period, if there even is one on the resellers market. So say you've bought it on somewhere like Vestiaire Collective and you're happy with it when it arrives, but then there's something happens to it that shouldn't happen. There's no returns policy. And if you buy something on a Facebook group or on eBay or even through a reseller, there's lots of things that say, no returns. And all you can give all the photos you want and all the rest of it. What do you do? What do you do if you've got defects or issues or problems? Another reason I don't want to buy a pre-loved bag is that you miss the in-store buying experience. And it's part of the joy of it for me. I'm a shopper. I like going shopping. I like going in store and I like seeing the items and getting hold of them and getting a feel for the place. the packaging, the experience, just the thrill of going when you know you're going to buy a bag. I know it's not important in life at all, but it's something I enjoy. So yeah, just buying something online, or whether it's through a reseller or even a new from store item, it just doesn't give you the same experience. So yeah, for me, you sort of lose that with pre-loved bags. So it's another reason I wouldn't want to buy one. So we're now getting on to things that really make my blood boil. And I understand that there are many reasons why the reseller industry and market is a good thing. For those people that can't get these unattainable items, it gives you guys an opportunity to actually buy that bag. So maybe a Hermes bag, for example, they're not easy in any stretch of the imagination to get hold of. So I understand that somebody might want to get one through a reseller because it's the only way they're going to get one. I understand that the reseller market is there for those of us that want to sell an item and realise some money back from a purchase that we've maybe changed our mind about, or our style's changed, or we've just made a huge mistake with it. So I understand that if that market wasn't there, then we wouldn't be able to then try and get some money back, and reach a bigger audience with trying to sell that bag. I understand that. So I also understand if you're a collector and you're looking for, I know Meredith, she will be collecting, at the moment she's collecting some of the old Louis Vuitton denim pieces. And I understand they're not available anymore. So the only way you're going to find those is on the resale market. I completely get it. But what I don't like about it, and I understand it's there and people love it, and some people buy a bag and then they sell it in order to then raise some funds to buy another bag because they love actual just buying new things. And I understand that that market needs to be there, but what really, really annoys me and bugs me with it is that it's the resellers, it's that market that's creating the problem in the first place. That if the resellers weren't going into store and buying some of the hard to get items, the sold out items, and you're telling me that some of the fashion houses don't know that these are resellers going in and they're about to flip a bag outside the door for a few thousand more. It just, that creates the whole problem in the first place. So it just drives me insane how, it also feeds into this mentality of going and buying something, and then instead of thinking it through, thinking, well, I will get it because I can always sell it. And it straight away, you're feeding into the same industry and the same problem. So you're actually becoming part of I won't think through the purchase enough because I can just sell it. So it's very easy to then make bad decisions because you feel that there's an out at the other end if you really needed to sell it. So yeah, part of it just drives me insane how some of these hard to get bags are so expensive because the resellers put such a premium on them. And for what reason? It's not for the handbag enthusiasts like myself. I can't go and buy that bag because it's sold out, because however many hundreds of resellers have gone and bought the bag. How do they get them from store, new from store? Some of these big online resellers, they have, even just looking in the last few days, they have so many, for example, Hermes blankets. They're sold out everywhere. You cannot get them. They have 3, 4, 5, however many available, and they've got more coming in. Where do they get them from? Why can't the enthusiasts like myself, why am I not able to buy one? I actually do have one, but I was very lucky to get it. That's not the point. The point is that, the resellers are creating their own hype and we're all buying into it. It's like, stop it. Now, some of you may be screaming at the screen right now and say, you are a hypocrite. And maybe I am. I don't know. I've never bought a pre-loved bag, but recently I tried to sell 3 bags and a couple of other items. And I had very, very mixed reviews or mixed experiences, should I say. So I'm going to link it up here. So this is my video about my experience trying to sell some of my luxury items and how it isn't as easy as you think it's going to be. So yeah, maybe I am a hypocrite because I did use resellers or approach resellers in order to try and sell some of my items. But I think in the process of doing that, it's made me even more aware of that industry and wary of that industry as well. So yeah, maybe I am a hypocrite because I did sell one bag through a reseller and I actually had a very good experience through that reseller. But the other experiences I had through all the other resellers with a few different items, of which I haven't sold anything, and I've decided now I'm not selling anything, that made me very, very aware how cutthroat and actually quite toxic some of that industry is. And I'm not here for it. I've got a very stressful life within my career, etc., which I'm just stepping back from. I don't want to walk into another industry that's absolutely cutthroat, and it's just not worth the risk and the hassle for me. So one good example for me, when I tried to sell I have a Capucines in the size, which is the old PM size. And my Capucines is in Gallet and it's got a Python handle. And it's currently on the Louis Vuitton website, or very similar version to it, is £5,700 retail. Now, I didn't quite pay that for it, but I paid a lot of money for mine. I've told the story about it being a regret. I'll link the video up here. So when I decided to sell this bag, I tried various ways, and I'm not going to go, there's a whole video on that, so I'm not going to go through it again. However, that bag retail is £5,700. Now, I know I'm not going to get near to that because somebody can walk in store, have the full Louis Vuitton experience, be 100% sure it's authentic and pay that for it. So of course I'm not going to get retail price. And of course I'm not going to get my money back because much as it's had one outing, it's pristine, I can prove it's authentic. How do you know 100%? I know, but how do I prove that to somebody else? I have all the receipts and all the rest of it, but I understand it's classed as pre-loved and it's in amazing condition. So I know I'm not going to get my full money back, but I thought I would get a reasonable amount for it because it would still be a huge saving for somebody who really wanted that bag and wanted one that was as new. So I approached many, but I'll tell you this one example. I approached one reseller who wanted to buy the bag outright, wasn't putting it on consignment, and they offered me £1,400 for that bag. Now, I know that they would be selling it for more than 4,000. I know, looking at the market, looking at the research, all the rest of it. And yes, I know that if I could sell it by myself, I wouldn't need them. And I have a commission to pay in order to have their audience, in order to get the coverage, in order to get the bag sold. And also to act as a middleman so I can be a bit more secure on the money side of things, that the money goes to them, they check everything and release it, and they act as a middleman. I understand it. I'm happy to pay them a commission. But really? They're going to take, what, £2,500 of my money? That's how I see it. They're gonna get £4,000 for a bag, maybe something in the region of that, and they're gonna pay me £1,400. That commission is just crazy, and I just at that point feel completely and utterly ripped off. So yeah, maybe my estimation of what I would be able to recover from that, maybe I was completely naive. Maybe, maybe I'm way off the mark. But I would never sell that bag for £1,400. Just doesn't make any sense, does it? So for me, it makes my blood boil. It really does. It just feels so wrong. So I think the thing is to know when you're buying these bags and people are telling you, and there's hundreds of videos on YouTube that tells you how your bag is an investment. It's not. It's not. I could take one of my Hermes bags now, and in my brain, I think I can double my money. You can't, because the resellers take so much. They either offer you such a ridiculous price or they take such a huge commission. I'm an accountant. I understand business. I understand it's a commercial enterprise. And good on you, you guys, for doing that. So, will you be all coming for me in the comments? We'll see, won't we? Will you all be coming for me if one day I do buy a pre-loved bag from somewhere? Never say never in life. It's just at this moment in time, and I think it's my experience trying to sell things. I've had such a really mixed experience trying to deal with some of these resellers. I've had one really good experience. I'm not naming any names, I just don't think it's fair, good or bad. I'm just not naming names. But I've had one really good experience. The rest, do I want to deal with any of those people? No, I just don't. I think I've probably covered all the reasons why I will not be buying a pre-loved or new bag from store from a reseller. Now, I'd be very, very happy to buy a pre-loved bag, maybe from one of my friends that does want to sell something. I understand that we all have reasons why we want to sell things, so I'm not against buying a bag that isn't new. It's nothing to do with that. It's all to do with how it's sold and the price and the premium, and also knowing if something is authentic or not. Whereas if I bought from one of my friends, um, in the YouTube community, for example, I would know 100% because I know the person. So I know who I'm dealing with. I know what I'm dealing with. I know the price would be fair. I know the transaction would be smooth. I have no issue with any of that whatsoever. It's nothing to do with only having brand new bags. It's nothing to do with that. It's to do with the industry and the other side of things, and all the horror stories and all the things that can go wrong. And I know we always say that these things are first world problems, and they are, but these things are a lot of money. And most of us in this space do not have money to burn. And because we don't, we're trying to be savvy with our money. And yeah, it's a lot of money to risk, and it can go wrong very, very easily. So it could be a huge problem. So for me, I am staying well away from that problem. I'm going to keep saving up my money. I'd love to be able to unbox things 2 or 3 times a week. I can't. I'm not in the position where I can do that. But instead of buying something pre-loved, that's a risk, just because I'm maybe trying to get a bit of a bargain. I'm sorry, I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to wait, I'm going to save up my money, and I'm going to buy from store as and when I want to. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm sure all of you have your views on pre-loved items and resellers. So let me know what you think. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on another one.